Some of those reasons have to do with liability, genetic liability. Some have to do with environment. There's always a spiritual factor. And there's the environment that calls us in a direction. What may begin as a curiosity can become a compulsion pretty quickly.
That's so true. Now, you know, we're talking about food addictions in this series.
Yes.
What are some of the elements in food that addict us? Or is it the elements?
Well, I think it is a lot of things. We live in a media-saturated society that hyper-focuses on thinness and external looks. We have food that is manufactured to be highly hedonic, highly pleasurable, so there's a lot of chemical wizardry involved. When you take the fiber out of the food, then it creates biologic shifts that affect the brain-body systems and even the gut microflora. So we are making choices because our environment is calling us in a direction. The choices create challenges, the social pressures. So I would say that there are 5 elements that are a battlefield for the person struggling with an addiction, whether it's a food addiction or any addiction. So it's the environment, that is what surrounds us. It's our culture, and that's what pressures us. It is our biology, and that is what changes us. It's the brain, and that is what drives us. And it's the spiritual, and that is who leads us.
So that's our entire selves, really, isn't it?
It is every aspect of our humanity and our spirituality in this world.
And I guess for some people it may not be the culture, but for most of us that is the case when it comes to food.
There are different elements that are going to be triggers for different people, different vulnerabilities. But I believe that we all need to be vigilant and be able to fight smart on every one of those fronts. The addicted brain is fighting hard, but we need to learn how to fight smart.
Amen. Amen. Now, we all have to eat, so is it possible to break a food addiction? Because we're always going to have food around us.
Yes, that's a very good question. And that may be a key as to why food addictions are one of the hardest to break. We have a pandemic of obesity in the United States and worldwide. We do have food addictions and even new eating disorders that have sprung up. And yes, we're always going to have to eat. Actually, I'd like to say we get to eat. And learning how to crave the good stuff is a science now, not just a natural instinct.
We get to eat. Sounds like a privilege and a responsibility. In the next segment, we'll delve into